Good morning all, and welcome to Marinus' memorial service. I am Paul, his youngest son. Marinus' health was declining ever rapidly with lung and heart conditions in his final years, to the point where he was distressingly short of breath. And so the COVID that ended it was, in a way, a small mercy. Our thanks go out to the overstretched, yet ever-caring nurses and doctors, who are the unsung heroes of this time. Myself and Mark were unable to travel to South Africa for the service, which was held 2 weeks ago at the church that Marinus and Pat used to attend in Kommetjie. And so, working with Lucy to put this service together has been an opportunity to reflect on a full and interesting life. It has helped me better understand him and greatly helped the grieving process. We will start with footage from the service and move on to messages from family and a close friend, before concluding with pictures of his life set to music. Dad asked that we played some of his favorite music, which we hope you'll all enjoy.
Dad did not want a long eulogy, so I will keep it brief. Firstly, I would like to thank him. Thank you for bringing me into this world. Thank you for providing for me. Times were not always easy, but you managed to maintain a high standard of living. Thank you for ensuring that I received a good education. Thank you for showing me the true meaning of loyalty, duty, and responsibility. And secondly, I would like to say how I admire you. Dad, I admire your need to improve the lives of others who are less fortunate. Through your work with the shelters, or by simply paying your staff a fair wage, while giving others the tools to improve themselves. I also admire your inquiring mind. You spend many hours on YouTube enlightening yourself as to the ways of our ever-changing society, challenging yourself to try to understand the viewpoints of others that differed greatly from your own. Not quite sure that you got the hang of the LBQTY community, but you tried. You were by no means perfect, but you owned your failings. I love you, Dad. Rest in peace.
Hi there everybody. Marinus, I think, was 21 when his father died in 1959, leaving him with the responsibility not only for Omar, but also his siblings, which cannot have been very easy. I remember holidays in Sedgefield when we came over to South Africa, which were great fun being together with the whole family, both at Mauritius and later in Komaki. We were always extremely well looked after, as was his way. What struck me most, I think, when we came for Christmas to Komaki and were all sitting around a very large table, your dad chose to sit on a small table with Dennis and Rachel. That I thought was great. He has lived a busy and varied life, from running his company to being part of the police reserve, I think, not to mention a deacon in the church, racing cars, along with the responsibility of 5 children. When one thinks back, remember the good and happy times and leave the angst behind is my advice. That way you will be happy. That is the way I have tried to live the past 23 years. Lots of love to you all, Maddie.
Marinus and Pat and Dan and myself became close friends in the early 80s when we all lived in Hart Bay and were part of a home-based Christian group. Our family left Hart Bay in 1986 to go to a rural area in the so-called Transkei to do community work. It was a challenging time, enabled by friends, and particularly Marinus, who was amazingly steadfast and generous. Not only did Marinus and Pat visit us on a number of occasions, but they kept in regular contact, which could be difficult in an area without electricity. Marinus also looked after our rented home in Hart Bay. He never told us all that he did to keep the house in shape. He certainly gave to us in a quiet and humble way, for which we were always most grateful. Marinus had a great sense of humour, as did Pat, and we shared lots of happy times together. We never returned to the Cape and had little contact over the last 15 years, but it was a lasting friendship that knew no time. Thank you, Derek, Mark, Anton, Lucy and Paul, for sharing your dad in that time. I'm returning to the Cape next year and look forward to resurrecting my friendships with you. Rest peacefully, Marinus.
Good morning all. My name is Martin and I'm the husband of Willie, Marinus' sister. I first met Marinus when, in January 1953, my parents enrolled me at the Wynberg Boys High School after our arrival in Cape Town from Holland in December 1952. Coming from Holland and with the knowledge of only a smattering of schoolboy English, Marinus soon proved to be of great help to me as I battled my way through that first year in a new and unfamiliar environment. I soon met his family, And so it was thanks to Marinus that I first met his beautiful sister and my wife-to-be. Marinus also introduced me to the Plumstead Young People's Club, a local youth club that was started by Mr. and Mrs. Brown to keep the local youth occupied in their free time. A local barn had been converted into a clubhouse by Marinus's dad, and there we spent many weekends playing table tennis, holding dances, as well as going on hikes all over Table Mountain and spending holidays camping in series. After matriculating, we both went to the University of Cape Town together to study civil engineering. But he soon decided that that was not his cup of tea and changed to building science, in which he excelled. After graduating, he made quite a name for himself as a very successful quantity surveyor, builder, and project manager. But not only did he succeed in his chosen career, I also admired him for his involvement in the establishment of night shelters for the down and outs, and also for providing practical training for workers in the building industry through the Urban Foundation. We regularly holidayed in Cape Town, and during those times we enjoyed many a happy family gathering at Marinus and Pat's beautiful Hout Bay home, where we were always welcomed with open-armed hospitality. And so, throughout the past almost 70 years, Marinus and I remained the best of friends, and it was very sad that in his later years he chose to travel some rocky roads in his private life, which, much to his later regret, was very painful to those near and dear to him. But none of us are perfect, and I will always remember Marinus as a good, loyal, and generous friend and brother-in-law. Our sincere hope now is that he may have found the peace that he was longing for, and so may he now rest in peace.
Amazing grace, how sweet. leaves under frozen souls, hungry hands turning soft and old. My hero cried as we stood out there in the cold. Like these autumn leaves, I don't have nothing to hold. Handsome smile, wearing handsome shoes, too young to say, though I swear he knew. I hear him singing while he sits there in his chair, and let these autumn leaves float around everywhere. And I look at you, and I see me making noise so restlessly. But now it's quiet, and I can hear you singing, my little fish don't cry, my little fish don't cry. Autumn leaves have faded now. That smile I lost, well, I found somehow, 'cause you still live on in my father's eyes. These autumn leaves, oh, these autumn leaves, oh.